What's up, dancers? So today I'm going to take you through a little routine that I would do if my pecs were feeling really tight, if I was feeling like my posture was just rounding and I was getting stuck in this like upper cross syndrome, which, girl, let me tell you, I am constantly working to rewire that pattern. It's gotten so much better. But it's kind of one of those things, especially if you are someone that like does a lot of computer work, or like even with driving, like we can just get so stuck in this habit of having our shoulders rounding forward. And a big part of what's causing that is also having really tight pec muscles. These muscles right here, if they are tight, they are going to be pulling our shoulders constantly forward. So a huge part of reversing upper cross syndrome is opening up the chest, is opening up the pec muscles, and strengthening the lower trapezius, the lats, your serratus muscles down here. So it's a combination of getting your upper trapezius, these shoulder muscles that like to come up like that. If your shoulders kind of look like this, your muscles are up like that, that is a sign that you have upper cross syndrome. And it's the combination of like tight pecs and tight shoulders, and everything's just like tight right here. And then our chin is jutting forward, like this is upper cross syndrome. And it is so common. And what we want to start to do is get that chin back, get those shoulders down, and get the pecs open. So this is a routine to open up your pec muscles. And not only is this really good for your posture and curing upper cross syndrome, but it's really good, especially as pole dancers, like pec flexibility is going to help with your shoulder mobility. It's going to help you get into a lot more like bendy tricks and things that where you're like getting your arm around the pole, like in ballerina, or just so many moves need pec flexibility. So this is also like kind of a great arm warm up. Yeah, so let's go ahead and get started. And one thing that I want you to really keep in mind is we are trying to keep these shoulders rolled back. So it's the difference between here. You see how my scapula kind of just came out and it's unanchored? I want to anchor that scapula in the whole time. Did you see how in moving my scapula here, my shoulder blade in, that slightly rolled my shoulder head back and took my trap from being up to, see how it's kind of up here to down. So this is what we are really trying to work of thinking about, taking the bottom tip of your scapula here, your shoulder blade, and like wrapping it forward, plugging it in. You see how all these muscles activated here when I did that? So you want to think about taking that tip of your scapula and like wrapping it forwards. You roll that shoulder head back. Yeah, going from here to anchored down, okay? That's what's gonna get us into that good posture. So rolling the shoulders back, creating that space between the ears and the shoulders. Let's have the arms extend out. And we're gonna start by little circles back here. And what we wanna make sure of is that we're not arching through the back. We want to have a neutral spine, neutral rib cage, so that it's truly isolating our pec muscles. Have energy through the fingertips. And this is where I would start, is circling back. And doing this even just for a minute can make a huge difference. I know a lot of times this is used as like a arm strengthening exercise, but I like to use it more as like a pec kind of warm up, and to start to get me in that good alignment. So see, I'm really checking in here to make sure I'm not like doing this, keeping those shoulders down and back and activated. To circle back, ribs in, core is tight, we're not getting here. Tall spine, I'm drawing my chin back, almost like you're gonna do like a double chin, to really think about drawing the chin up and back as you're lengthening through the back of the neck. Yeah. Let's go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. So now I'm going to grab a resistance band. And this is one that I always do with my students if I know we're going to be using some shoulder mobility. So we're going to take it out here, and the same thing, we're trying to make sure that, we're not doing this, the scapula is not moving around, really trying to anchor it in. And again, not moving the rib cage. We're trying to really isolate the arms. So I'm gonna bring my arms out, stretching that band. And I'm really strong through my wrists. I'm not letting them bend. I'm not hyperextending through the elbow, little bend, strong wrist. I'm gonna open up, keeping those shoulders down. Come forward, I'm gonna come up, around and back. Now I'm letting the band pull me into a stretch. See, I'm getting that stretch back with the pecs without letting this happen. Again, isolating the arm, give into the stretch, and then I'm gonna squeeze from the pecs, not using my shoulders, from the pecs, resist. So it's the difference between keeping those shoulders down and coming in versus like rounding to come in and back, up, forward, pull back, up, back, pull in. So this is the exercise here, and again, we're trying to keep the rib cage from moving too much and just working the arms. Stretch, stretch, pull in, draw that chin back. Let's check in with my arms here. Yeah, so I'm trying not to do this, keeping my shoulders down as I'm coming in. So it's like I'm trying to keep this broadness across my collarbones as I come in. So I'm not rounding to come in. I'm still staying open across the chest to pull in. Let's do 2 more. Shoulders down, chin back. Hopefully you're feeling also a little bit of bicep, tricep work here as well. Oh yeah. Whew, so good. Okay, so now we're gonna take some cactus arm rotations, and what we wanna make sure of, you can even use your other hand to kind of get this tactile awareness here to keep that scapula in check, because it might wanna start moving around. Okay, I also have very hypermobile scapula, so yours might not like wah 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 move around as much, but if yours do, that's something you really wanna pay attention to, is really anchoring your scapula and getting them into a habit of remaining stable and not like moving around all unhinged back here. So I'm gonna be working this rotation through my arm and trying not to, be moving my scapula to do it, but again, isolating, rotating down and up. And I'm gonna do that with the other arm too, so I'm checking in. I'm thinking about taking that tip of my scapula and wrapping it forward as I'm opening up, lengthening, chin back. Being able to isolate this, also being mindful of my rib cage. And then I'm gonna do both at the same time. It's cactus arms. So close, open, down and up. Close, open, down and up. Close, open. See how I'm not having my shoulders come up? Keeping those traps lowered. Down and up. Close, open, down and up. 4, 3, 2, getting that stretch across the pecs without arching through the ribs. 1. Beautiful. Now I'm gonna come up to a wall. Some block. I'm gonna come up to a wall here, so you wanna make sure that you are right up to a wall, like booty back on the wall. You don't have to sit on the block. I'm actually not gonna do that anymore, but I'm going to bring a little cushion here to sit on. You wanna make sure you are right up against the wall. I'm gonna take this out because you wanna have your back of your head against the wall here. Okay, so at no point do you wanna let your head come off the wall or your upper back. So you wanna keep those contact points of like right between your scapula and then also the back of your head making contact with the wall. From here, you're gonna bring your hands into this position, not quite a fist, but at the next knuckle out, and bring those knuckles to your temple here. Okay, so I'm pressing my elbows out and back, and I'm trying to tap the wall behind me. Okay, so I'm gonna tap the wall, opening up, and at the same time, you know, I'm not trying to have my shoulders up here, trying to keep that space. And then I'm gonna try to tap my elbows together without letting my head come off the wall. So at the same time, I'm pressing my head and the behind my heart into the wall, as well as my booty. Tap the wall, tap the elbows. Tap the wall, tap the elbows. Back, and back, and 5, 4, 3, 2, oh my gosh, and 1. Beautiful. Okay, so now I'm grabbing a block. We're gonna do the rest of these on the wall here. So grabbing a block, I'm gonna come into a lunge, a low lunge. So if you want a little cushion under your knee, that's fine too. And then bringing the block in between my knee and the wall here. So I wanna keep this kind of constant press so that I'm not able to turn away. You don't wanna let the block fall. You wanna keep your hips nice and square. This is gonna help us keep our hips in alignment so that we're really isolating and mobilizing through the upper body versus, you know, letting that happen, okay? So, getting that together, what you're gonna do is bring your left hand, so I've got my right knee forward, left arm to the wall, left shoulder, and here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna tap, and then I'm gonna open and rotate, keep this press here, this is where it comes in. I'm gonna try to tap the wall behind me, you know, without letting my shoulders come up, trying to keep them down, twist and tap. Together. Press. Together. Press. Together. And open. Try to get the back of your hand to touch the wall without taking this arm off. Open. 4, 5. Keep this press going through the legs. 4, 3, 2, 1. Press and hold. Oh yeah, good stretch. Let's go ahead and do that on the other side now. Okay, so get that block hold going. Right arm forward, left arm, twist and press. And press. If you really wanted to make this spicy, you could have the band in both hands and work that. Once you get comfortable without the band, that's what you should try. Add it on. Tap. Oh yeah. Trying to keep those shoulders down. For 3, 2, 1. Oh, good job, y'all. Okay, so come on down. We are going to also start to stretch out the pec a little bit, and then we're going to end with a little bit of a trigger point release. So this next exercise is going to be taking a cactus pose, or cactus arm here, to the wall. So I'm going to come so that I'm not quite facing the wall, but I'm at like sort of a diagonal here. Getting up nice and close, I'm going to take my right arm into a cactus arm here. And I'm trying to think about, 1, making sure that this isn't happening, keeping that space here. And again, it's pretty easy in cactus pose to get that sense of anchoring, wrapping as I'm reaching this elbow forward, getting this sense of like rotation. It's rolling this shoulder head back, okay? So you should feel like quite open here and not like, you know, if your shoulder's kind of rounding forward or coming up, that's not it. You really wanna feel like there's this scapula wrapping forward, elbows wrapping forward, open through the pec, and this is what we're trying to stretch here. Coming here. Ooh, that might already feel like a good stretch. I've got energy through my hands, And now to bump it up, we're going to think about pressing the elbow into the wall as we lift the hands off here. And so I'm checking in with my scapula here. I'm also trying to not just arch through the rib cage to compromise. I'm really trying to keep it neutral here, getting that rotation. Breathe here. And if it feels good, you can stretch that arm out too. And that feels like a good stretch as well. We're looking for that nice stretch through the pecs. I'm kind of slightly turning away as I'm leaning into the wall. What I want to make sure of here is that I'm not hyperextending through the elbow to compensate. So I'm really having a little bend in the elbow here so that I can focus the stretch more into the pec versus using my joints to compromise. Breathing here, and if you have your arm out straight, I want you to think of pressing your whole hand into the wall like you're trying to push it away. So a little bit of an active stretch here. At the same time, scapula drawn down, keeping that shoulder down away from the ears. Oh yeah, you can kind of go between the two. Ooh, pressing here, straightening out. Oh my God, yeah. Here and out. Ooh, so good. So then you can grab a therapy ball. I know I'm whipping out all the props on you guys, but there's so many good ways to use them. And take the ball and get the ball in between your pecs and the wall for a little bit of a massage. Now, this can feel really, really good. This is not, your only permanent solution. So if you're gonna do this, also include all these active stretching things, and then we also need to get these back muscles online. I'll do that in another video. But coming up here, same kind of thing. You're just gonna roll out these pecs. And this can feel really, so good especially if your pecs are really tight. And what you want to do here is just be conscious of really letting that shoulder relax. Since we're getting into some trigger point areas, it might want to tense up. So you want to think jaw relaxed, shoulders relaxed, really long neck. And you can take your time here, when you find those places that feel tight, stop and breathe. Let them melt into it. Oh gosh. Always feels so tight. So pretty much anywhere in this whole area is fair game, wherever feels good in this pec area, pec, collarbone area. You can really spend as much time here as you like. I recommend, setting a timer for 5 minutes on each side and just getting in there. Oh my God. You can even think about drawing that shoulder away back. I'm kind of reaching my arm back here so that I'm really making sure that my chest is more open as I get into these muscles. Oh yeah. This is the good stuff right here. Oh my God, hurts so good. Okay, well you guys get the idea. If you're trying this out, you're yeah, ooh, I'll be back here. So I'm not gonna do the full, 10 minutes in this video, but I really do recommend, if your pecs are chronically tight, if your shoulders are chronically rounded, do this along with all these exercises. Let's go ahead and get this left side here with the cactus arm stretch. Okay, so again, we're trying to keep the shoulder down away from the ear, get that scapula locked in, really feeling like your elbow is pushing forward, hand is pushing back, coming up to the wall. What is this? It's like a hair out here. Okay, anyways. And I'm gonna press the elbow into the wall and lift the hand off, so really strong here. And then if it feels good, you can straighten out. It's gonna change up the stretch a little bit, kind of reaching at this diagonal. Remember to keep that micro bend in the elbow. You can go between bent and straight. If it's straight, pressing your hand into the wall to make it active. I'm trying to think armpit into the wall. Beautiful, and then let's get our ball and give this left side a little bit of love here. So good. Oh. Ooh, feels so good. Hurts so good, so just remember to breathe, unclench the jaw, let the shoulders drop down away from the ears. Remember to breathe. Guys, I could stay here all day, but I want to finish up here. Oh my gosh, okay. Woo. Our left side be tight. Okay, so those are your exercises you can do. You know, this is a short 20-minute routine, and I already can feel like so much more ease and openness in my shoulders. And if you do too, awesome. And then I just want to, you know, make a point that this is one part of the equation, because there's a lot of other muscles involved. You know, to cure upper cross syndrome, the pecs are a great place to start. And then we also want to start to train these upper trapezius muscles to not do all of the work and start to get our lower trapezius, our lats, our serratus muscles online, and also getting our deep neck flexors to help support our head, because anytime we're starting to let our head like jut forward like this, that is gonna really impact your posture and have to get these traps to fire up. So it's a combination of getting your deep neck stabilizers and flexors online to support your head. You can do that by just really like thinking about good posture, drawing that chin back. And then, you know, we'll get into some other stuff, the lats, the serratus, the lower trapezius, and other videos. But for now, start to open up your pecs so that you can really, it'll be much easier to have that good open posture and not be in this chronically rounded place. Oh, I don't even like want to do that after all this. It can feel really good just to energy out through the hands, draw the arms back slightly and just do like a little side to side. Feeling that length, that stretch all the way through the arm. Oh, so good. And I also have a great video for flossing the nerves in your arms, which can definitely affect, like if you did some of this and you're like, ooh, like I kind of got like a spicy, like tingly sensation, like down my arm or my wrist or into my hand, or like some of this didn't feel good, like it felt like I couldn't stretch, or something felt kind of like pins and needles. If you got any sensations like those in any of these exercises, might be a sign that one of your main arm nerves is stuck somewhere and could use some flossing. So I'll link that video below as well. You can check it out. That's also really important. A lot of times, I know dancers who have struggled with what they think is a lack of flexibility, and it was really that a nerve somewhere in their body was stuck somewhere and wasn't letting them get their full range of mobility. So it's worth checking out, especially if you are a pole dancer or aerial dancer and use your arms and upper body a lot. So I will link that below too. Let's get our upper body in check, you guys. If you found this video helpful, please let me know in the comments. If you want to see me talk more about upper cross syndrome and upper body care, let me know. And you can also follow me on Instagram to get more of this kind of content all the time. So thanks for training today, guys. Thanks for learning something new about your bodies, and I will see you in the next class. Bye. Mwah.